Hey there, seasoned math students. Welcome to homework 5.5, two-step equations with justification. You watch the video, check off, practice, calculators okay, do tomorrow. So, problem number 1. Draw your scales of justice. You'll see that your variable is actually on your right-hand side. My constant, therefore, is a number all by itself. It is -2 or -2, so therefore I add 2 to both sides to move the constant, right? We want this to become 0. So +2, +2, go ahead and highlight that. And to show that, hey, that's my first step. So -2 plus 2 is 0, and then we drop on down our -6 right on down here. So notice you're dropping down -6m, not just 6m. Signs matter, got to pay very close attention. 52 plus 2 is 54. Let's go back over and say, okay, next I see that I've got multiplication, a number next to a variable, so I use division to isolate my variable. So that means I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by -6, right? Exact sign matters. So m is equal to, here's where you use your calculator, -9, not just 9. So we ended up, I divide by -6 to both sides and get my answer of -9. Now to check, we have 52 equals -6, not m, but my answer of -9, plug in, -2. So 52 is equal to, use your order of operations, -9 times -6 is 54 minus 2. 52 is equal to, what's 54 minus 2? 52. So 52 is equal to 52. I know I got my correct answer. So if I were you, I'd go ahead and do number 2 because it's like number 1. I'm going to scroll on down to number 3. So immediately draw your scales of justice. That will help you see that your variable is again on your right hand side. You'll see that your constant is 2, so therefore you want to, again, you want to make it 0, so let's subtract 2. You could also add -2 if you want to both sides, but here we're going to subtract 2. Again, you're going to highlight that because that's your first step of a two-step equation. And we find out that these 2 minus 2 is 0. 17 minus 2 is 15 is equal to, and you want to drop your 5n right on down. So 5n. Next, I see multiplication. So I use division to isolate the variable. So that means I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 5, the exact coefficient attached to the variable. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, so therefore n is equal to 3. So I divide by 5 to both sides to get my answer as 3, right? So in this case, I've got to circle my answer. 17 is equal to 2 plus 5, not n, but plug in with 3. Now 17 is equal to 2 plus 5 times 3, which is 15. And then 17 is equal to, what's 2 plus 15? 17. Therefore, you know you are correct. If I were you, I'd go ahead and do number 4. Take a very careful look at the signs on number 4. Backside, number 5. When I draw my scales of justice, I'm going to want to draw them a little bit bigger here, so I give myself some room. I'll notice my variable is on the left. My constant this time is -9 or -9, so therefore I add 9 to both sides. So I'll say +9, +9. I always highlight the first step of a two-step equation, right? -9 plus 9 is 0. -14 plus 9 is -5 is equal to, it's okay that you got a big old space here, v over 2 over -2, excuse me. So some number divided by -2 is equal to -5. So next I see division. Because I see a division, I am going to use multiplication to isolate my variable. So that means I'm going to multiply both sides not by 2 but by -2, the exact number with the variable, right? So that's very important. These cancel off because -2 times v is -2v. Divided by -2 is just 1v, so just v. So v is equal to, and then -5 times -2 is +10, right? DSSN. Right, so C is your answer. I want to say I multiply by -2 to both sides and get 10 as my answer. And then we're going to plug in 10. So we're going to say over here, 10 minus 2, or sorry, divided by negative 2 minus 9 is 14. So then we go ahead and do order of operations. 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. Minus 9 is equal to negative 14. And then if you use your calculator, you'll find out that minus 5 and negative 5 minus 9 is actually negative 14. So negative 14 is equal to negative 14. All right. Last one I'll do with you is number 5. You draw your scales of justice. You see that your variable is indeed on the left-hand side. Your constant, the number all by itself on the left-hand side, is negative 5. Therefore, you want to add 5 to both sides. So plus 5, plus 5. The whole idea is to get these 5s to cancel out. You'll know that negative 5 plus 5 is 0. We highlight our first step. Drop on down what's left over. So x over negative 10 is equal to negative 1, because that's what negative 6 plus 5 is. And now I see division. So therefore I'm going to use multiplication to isolate the variable. And remember, it's the exact number with the coefficient. So I multiply by not 10, but negative 10. That's important. And negative 10 on both sides. On the left-hand side, we get them, make sure I put the negative, they cancel off. And so I'm left with x is equal to negative 1 times negative 10, which is a positive 10, C. So I get positive 10 is my answer. And I plug in again, so 10 over here. So 10 divided by negative 10 is negative 1, right? Negative 5 plus negative 1 hopefully equals negative 6. And when I do the math, negative 5 plus negative 1 is negative 6. So negative 6 equals negative 6. All right, that's it. You've got the others. Please show work like I have shown and try and make it nice and neat. Call me if you have a question.